Calisthenics have been at the core of my training for over a decade now, yet I've only gotten serious with this exercise during the last year. Something I deeply regret, since after building my weighted push-up up to triple digits, I've realized what a phenomenal exercise it is for building a rugged chest, triceps and shoulders. Compared to their closest exercise, the bench press, they don't require access to a gym, neither a spotter, they challenge your core way more, and all you need are 2 square meters and a decent military backpack. So if like me, you like training at home, but you're also tight on space, not having to set up a whole bench press station saves up much more room for other important equipment and exercises. Not to mention how once you begin to get really strong at weighted push-ups, you can even start pressing people on your back like your wife and your kids. A way cooler flex than benching a lot of weight, in my opinion at least, since you can do it anywhere while also teaching your kids the value of fitness, health and strength without even having to say a single word. That being said, if you want to learn what is a good weighted push-up strength standard to aim at, how to build your way up there, and the best way to load it in order to get the most out of this amazing exercise, keep watching. By the way, right before we move on to how much weight you should use, if you enjoy this style of training and you want to build your best naturally jacked physique without going to the gym, then make sure you check out our Homemade Muscle Academy. Link below. To get serious with a weighted push-up, a good goal to aim for is getting up to 10 quality reps with an extra 45 kilos on your back. And if you want to compare how much you're pressing this way compared to a bench press, all you have to do is add 70% of your weight plus the weight on your back. For example, I weigh 82 kilos, so adding 45 kilos on my back is more or less the equivalent of benching over 100 kgs. Depending on your training level, this can take anywhere between 1 to 3 years, which is why you want to break it down in smaller milestones as following. First of all, master basic push-ups first. Although a lot of guys think these are easy, the truth is most only say this because their form is complete crap. So first make sure that you have a decent foundation by being able to do 20 push-ups covering the following main points. Number 1, maintain a slow 2-second negative on the way down. Number 2, bring your sternum to the floor without allowing your gut to get in the way. To do this, you have to keep your hips slightly above neutral alignment. Number 3, pause at the bottom for a split second instead of bouncing up like a spring. Number 4, keep your elbows below 45 degrees instead of flaring them out. And number 5, explode up, fully extending your elbows. Once you can do 20 of these, move on to 20 deep push-ups, hands at the end of a ledge, or even better on push-up grips, so you can get a deeper stretch and activation of the chest. Another thing that you don't get from bench pressing with a straight bar. At this point, you should be able to press anywhere between 8 to 10 reps with 10 kgs. So first make sure that you can do that, and next start micro-loading your push-ups every week as you slowly build your way up to 45 kilos. I recommend doing this slowly and always focusing on perfect form, adding increments of 1 to 2.5 kilos at a time. Plus, another thing I recommend at this point is getting a decent pair of heavy-duty push-up grips, since it does make a difference the more load you start to add, and it will also keep your wrists healthy. Personally, after having tried all kinds of these for over a decade now, nothing beats, in my experience, the Goruck Nation Premium push-up grips, which I'll link in the description below. There are all kinds of different variations that you can play around with here, and especially if you're prone to injury and shoulder issues from pressing, it is always a good idea to mix things up. For starters, if you go really hard on these, as you should, training them 2 to max 3 times a week will be enough. I also recommend that you split your workouts in heavy and light sessions. For example, 1 or 2 of your weekly workouts can be heavy work, spread as far apart as possible, focusing on 7 to 10 reps with as much weight as you can handle. And 1 workout can be a lighter day, meaning focusing on higher rep ranges anywhere between 12 to 20 reps, either done bodyweight or using less weight that allows you to focus on this rep range. Some good variations for your light workouts are A. Gymnastic ring push-ups, focusing more on the mind-to-muscle connection by bringing your hands close together at the top and pausing for a second in order to get a good squeeze of the chest. If you're more advanced, you can even do RTO push-ups, meaning rings turned out push-ups for the extra mobility and shoulder health. Lastly, if you don't have rings, which you should get, another great variation that is even friendlier to the shoulder is the reverse grip push-up. These are quite challenging, so you probably won't need weight to get started. As we said in the beginning, any decent military backpack will do, especially when you're getting started. And although most of these are usually rated for more or less 25 kilos or so, that is mostly the recommended weight for hiking long distances with it. So if you're just using it for weighted calisthenics, you can definitely stretch that limit more, and in my experience, going up to 100 pounds shouldn't be a problem. You can fill these with sand, books, dumbbell plates, and whatever you have available at home. Just make sure that hard objects are always padded, everything is nice and snug, and the weight sits high on your upper back. This way, your backpack won't shift around, causing your lower back to arch, ruining your form, or even hitting you on the head during the lowering part of the rep. Especially if you have a large 40 to even 45 liter backpack like mine, what I recommend is stuffing the bottom of it with 1 or 2 old pillows in order to once again keep the weight high and tight. Another good option are Goruck backpacks, which is what I'm using here. These also have special sleeves for weighted plates, which is really practical for keeping the weight nicely distributed and tight. The only downside for these being that they can cost up to 4 or even 5 times more compared to a military backpack. That being said, these are as rugged as a backpack can get. Alright, so to summarize today's video and help you take action, step number 1 is master 20 perfect form push-ups, followed by 20 deep push-ups. Step number 2, get a decent military backpack and a sturdy pair of push-up grips. I'll include my recommendations in the description below. And start loading your sets beginning with 10 kilos and after that smaller increments of anywhere between 1 to 2.5 kilos at a time, always making sure that you can hit 10 perfect form reps before you add more weight. And step number 3 is always make sure that you're noting down your progress every time you train, but you also celebrate each time you add a little bit of extra weight in your backpack. This way, every extra kilo or 2 will give you an extra little dopamine hit that will keep you going. That being said, if you want a more organized full body program and you want to build your best naturally jacked physique without going to the gym, but you don't know where to start, once again, check out our Homemade Muscle Academy. Until next time, keep on training.